More Nigerians are getting involved in musical play presentation. I love musical plays, I should tell you. Beautiful Wilderness, written by Dupe Olorunjo, is a play adapted from the novel A Beautiful Wilderness.
The plot revolves around a successful businessman played by Keanu Omira. A successful businessman, Keanu Omira, played by Patrick Diabuah. Omira is an easily recognizable character who believes that he has the whole world in his pocket.
Interesting. Well, joining us now is Dupe Olorunjo. She's the scriptwriter, and Patrick Diabuah, who's the lead actor. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
When I hear Beautiful Wilderness, without looking at the plot, I'm thinking a wonderland of what secret waterfalls, tree ferns.
This way, don't take me there's Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day.
And extinct, creatures. But let me stop thinking at this moment and just let you allow us to tell us.
Okay. Allow you to tell us.
Because I'm already in Beautiful Wilderness. I'm lost there.
Yeah, lost. Yeah.
So what is Beautiful Wilderness about, really?
Okay, so Beautiful Wilderness is actually a novel I wrote, okay, and then it's now being made into a musical. But the story is about a situation where you find yourself in a wilderness, but then you come out a better person. It's known in life that sometimes difficult situations, it's just like you have raw gold and you put it in the fire, and eventually it comes out better and shining. So that's what the story is all about.
You have written 4 novels, and from what I gather here, they're all in the inspirational fiction
yes.
genre. Why did you pick Beautiful Wilderness? Why did you pick this particular book to turn into a play?
Okay, I guess it's the strength of the story. There are a lot of twists and turns. So we just felt that it's something, because by the time you do watch the musical, at the beginning, you're not quite sure how the whole story is going to end. So we felt that story would probably be a bit more engaging on stage.
All right, when you say Beautiful Wilderness, you talk about a businessman that has everything wrapped around his hands. I'm looking at you, sir. You've got everything wrapped around your hands. I mean, what then became the reality for you?
No, well, I guess the thing is, sometimes when you're in a place of comfort, you tend to forget that there are people around you who you can't really get to certain places in life without. There might just be the man at the gate, the guy who opens the door for you. So this guy, Keanu Omira, has everything, and he took everything for granted. And at this point, he had to go through that crucible. He had to go through that fire. Otherwise, he wouldn't realize that, look, something is missing. I think the character is a good guy. I don't think he's a bad guy. He just got too comfortable.
Yeah. You talk about taking things for granted, and I want to bring it to you because the dreadful Lagos traffic had a role to play in all of this.
It did.
Tell us about that.
So one day I was in traffic and I was on the same spot going to work in the morning. I was on the same spot for about, I would say, 5 to 7 minutes. At the beginning...
No, that's nothing.
On the same spot.
That's nothing.
Okay, but it's what happened.
I've been on this for 3 hours.
That's terrible.
3 hours.
That's terrible.
December 2018. I'm never going to forget. It's probably a hotel.
Anyway, so continue 5 to 7 minutes on the same.
So I was there, and at the beginning, when I just realized we're not moving, I turned to the side, and I saw a beggar sitting down there. My attention was drawn to him. He wasn't bothered about the traffic, about anything, that I was thinking of the things I was going to meet in the office and all that. He was there unpacking his things, his begging bowl, his shoes, just arranging things around him. So that wasn't all. Suddenly, a thought came to my mind that, look, this is this man's whole life. But one thing I realized was that he didn't choose this life. I also realized that any one of us in another time, in another place, could have actually been that beggar. Any one of us, as a woman, you're so successful, you've done well for yourself. But I'm just imagining that if you're a woman in a country where women are not even allowed to express yourself, you know, you couldn't probably achieve the things that you have achieved today. So the whole story was formed in my mind that morning as I sat there. And I just realized that we need to be grateful always for what we have. I never think it's an opportunity to look down on other people. And if there is a way that we can help to pull other people up the ladder, then we should always take that opportunity.
I have two quick questions for you. First of all, I know it starts the show today at the Muson Center from the 14th to the 16th.
Yes.
Is there a reason why you picked to show this movie during the season of love, Valentine's Day? And my second question to you is, how is it being received? Because we know that there's a downplay when it comes to the musical theatre scene in Nigeria. How is it being received so far?
Okay, so I'll start with the second question. I think it's being received very well. A number of people have actually been doing a couple of musicals. People have watched them, and they're always looking forward to the next thing. I think a musical really adds something interesting, you know, with the lights, with the sound, the dancing, and Nigerians love dancing and music and all that. Okay, for the first question, why did we choose this period? Because A Beautiful Wilderness, with everything we've said so far, is actually a story of love. So you have the love, by the time you see it, you see the love of a friend who just stays with you through thick and thin when you're at your lowest point. You have the story of a husband and wife who were in love at the beginning, and then eventually things fell apart. And that does happen a lot in marriages. So it's, can they come back together again? And I think in everything, it's also the story of the love of God that gives us a second chance, you know, when we don't deserve it.
How's the writing process like for you? I mean, I'm concerned about the technical details. Turning it from a novel to a musical.
Okay,
and putting it on stage.
Yeah, I didn't actually write the original script. I wrote the novel. Somebody else wrote the script, even though I did intervene at some point in the script. But the writing process for the novel, you mean?
No, the writing process for the novel. The play.
Oh, for the play.
Working
I was involved in it.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time I'm doing this, and I learned a lot along the whole process. What did you learn? Sorry?
What did you learn?
I think, for me, when you're writing a novel, you're able to express a lot of the internal thoughts of what the person is. On stage, it's a bit different. You can't know what people are thinking, so you need to be able to express it properly with action so that you understand the thoughts and you understand everything about
because
the
it's spontaneous. Mr. Patrick, let me come to you.
Yeah.
What did you see in this play that made you say, I have to be a part of this, I'm interested in this? And then to you, what was it like gathering the crew for this play, if you're involved in that? But let me start with you.
Okay. What was it about this play? It's about the humanity in it. Okay, the fact that this is a story, like she said, it's a story of love. It's a story about. I always like second chance stories, so I saw that in this. It's a second chance story. We all need a second chance.
So we don't
if you or a third, of course, where God will always give you a third and fourth. In fact, it gives you like.
But sometimes goodbye is a second chance.
You know, so that's part of one of the reasons why. That's one of the reasons why I decided. Okay, I think I like this piece. I'd like to be part of this piece. And then I liked the challenge of the piece. I mean, as an actor, you're always looking for something that challenges you, something that makes you want to work harder. For instance, I'm not really a crying man, but there's a part where I had to do that. And there's this playing on two different levels. Yeah. Keanu, the rich man, and Woza, the guy who suddenly has nothing, finds himself in a world that he didn't ever expect that he'll be in. Yeah. So that switch, I loved the switch, and I loved the angle.
Was there anything you did not like apart from making you cry?
I didn't like the part where I had to clean the whole rehearsal floor with my backside because I was literally moving on my derriere, if you understand what I'm saying.
So for you, Dupe, what was it like guiding this cast?
Okay. But I think one interesting point from what he said is that from the play, at a point while you're watching it, you're not really sure if Wuza under the bridge is who he says he is. You know, he says he's Keanu Omira, but you're not sure. You know, and it's until the very end, if you know that you get to know what's really happening. Okay. But in terms of gathering the cast, I didn't really do that myself. Okay. The creative director for the whole show is Benga Yusuf. So he came up with putting this whole thing together, getting the cast, even though once or twice we would have to work on it together. But I think he did a very good job.
We are seeing the images, you know, from your rehearsals. I'm seeing a bit of dance going on there.
A lot
of dance, you know, we can't really see everything. But, you know, I'm just interested to know, because, I mean, you're an actor, but this is definitely different. Very quickly, as we go on a break, just tell me what that experience was like, very quickly.
Well, it's musicals. Stage generally is very, very, very demanding, but musicals, it's like times 10. But it's wonderful working with these guys, these dancers, musicians.
Who choreographed it?
Benga Yusuf.
Okay.
And most of the other dancers, you know, it's more like a ensemble thing.
Well, congratulations. We wish you the best. The showing from today till the 16th goes at the Musan Center. Yes. Thank you for coming on the show this morning.